In the start, we see our protagonist is facing off with a very strong demon thinking that God is dead and humanity worshipped only gold and revered arcane engineering. Until finally, they turn themselves into slaves. Protagonist doesn't find it fair and charges to attack. When their weapons collide, a big explosion happens. But the protagonist loses. In reality, a boy was just playing the best modern apocalyptic game, Arcane Soul. Boy cursed the game saying that it's a garbage pay-to-win game. This boy is Kim Jong-soo, 22-year-old college student. He is very angry at the game because a free-to-play player like him can't enjoy the game. Inside the game, the player with which our protagonist was fighting tells him that he did pretty well as a free-to-play player and mentions that he was in auto mode all the time. He praises Jong-soo saying that he has never seen a free-to-play player do so well. Jong-soo is getting frustrated while playing the game. He angrily asks how is it fair that he loses to a whale even after spending 10k hours on the game? He concludes that this is not a game but a gambling with OP characters. He calls himself an idiot for wasting his time on a garbage game. He decides to do his dailies before going home and working on homework. He is about to use his free pull thinking that he will just get another warrior Kim. After doing the spin, he got a platinum chest. He gets shocked after finding an SSR, Heavenly Demon, in the chest. The same character he lost to. He can't believe that he is a legendary character. The chances of getting this character on a free pull are 0.00006%. He is very happy after getting that and starts celebrating on the road. Now, he decides to raise his Heavenly Demon. He could level him up by farming. The fastest way to raise a character in Arcane Soul is to use the characters you've already raised in EXP. He uses all of his warrior Kims to raise his Heavenly Demon. While he was happy, he put his foot on the road to cross it. But the Truckkoen, a mythical character, is coming toward him. Jong-soo is familiar with this type of event. After that, he wakes up in the hospital. How bro survived after getting hit by a mythical character, Truckkoen. He can't understand why he is in the hospital. He remembers that he got hit by a truck. Then a nurse lady came there who called him Warrior Kim. Never mind, bro wasn't able to survive. After seeing that he is awake, she decides to call the doctor. Jong-soo, in confusion, can't understand why she is calling him Warrior Kim. When he checks his name in the form, it's actually written as Warrior Kim. He calls this a mistake and decides to move on. Jong-soo is feeling bad after dusting all his Warrior Kims as EXP for the Heavenly Demon. But becoming Warrior Kim, Jong-soo knows that it's not possible. Then he decides to go out, but when he puts his fractured foot down, he feels immense pain. Nurse lady comes running and tells him that he can't walk yet. Doctor is also here. He tells him that he got off quite lightly after getting hit by a Truckkoen. Doctor tells Jong-soo that they have to run some more tests. Jong-soo needs an MRI and a magical vision test. Jong-soo can't understand what they are talking about. Now it's time to calculate the hospital bill. Emergency room and facility fees and other test costs combined make up to 22 million KRW. Jong-soo is shocked because he just stayed in the hospital for 4 days and has to pay 22 million. She tells him that he doesn't have any insurance, so he has to cover it himself. Jong-soo asks her why he doesn't have insurance. Every Korean has national health insurance. She can't understand what he is talking about. She tells him that he doesn't have Legion insurance or magic insurance. Jong-soo wasn't able to understand but suddenly remembered that he had heard these terms somewhere before. He tries to remember where he heard these things. In the end, he remembers that the Legion, Megacorp, Magic Tower, Holy Tower are the 4 factions that dominate Seoul. It's the setting of Arcane Soul. In a world where God had abandoned humanity, arcane science developed drastically. The polluted earth is full of monsters, and humans modify their body in order to survive. To put it simply, it's a world that's hard to just survive in. And Jong-soo has entered this world. He was walking saying that he went to sleep happy because he got the Heavenly Demon, but he can't believe that he became a tutorial character. He concludes that this is divine punishment for dusting those Warrior Kims. He enters his room and mentions that this is even smaller than his previous room. Jong-soo sits on the bed and points out that his body isn't well, and he doesn't have any money. And if this is actually Arcane Soul, then soon, events like nuclear wars, dimensional rifts, or revival of the old gods will occur which will make this place a living hell. He can't understand how he ended up here, but he knows that if he stays put he will die for sure. He suddenly gets up to check something. He takes the pin and pierces his hand with it. His hand automatically healed in an instant. System message pops up telling him that he has gained the trait Wound Recovery. The reason Jansu raised the countless warrior Kims is because it's a free tutorial character. It's the only character without a base trait. However, you can unlock traits and switch them out, so you can raise warrior Kims with more freedom than any other character. For someone like Jansu who relied on strategy, warrior Kims were better than higher party characters. That means, now that he's warrior Kim, he uses his powers to recover all the wounds he took until now. He mentions that he can get any trait he wants until he works for it. In this world, you die if you're poor or powerless, or if you run out of luck. But Jansu decides to live on without letting that happen. He hunts down many monsters. He has the knowledge from wasting 10,000 hours on Arcane Soul as a free to-play player. After hunting for so long, he reaches rank 9. After that, Kim goes to player personnel. There is a person who asks him if it's really his first time at their player personnel office. Kim answers with yes and tells him that he is planning on joining the mana purification business. He is doing this because he has to earn money first for a crappy gacha game like this. Since all he has is his body, this is the only thing he can do to earn big money. Man tells him that it may be called mana purification, but it really means dungeon clearing, and he asks if Kim knows the meaning of this. This guy is player personnel director Choi. Kim tells him that he knows what that means. Choi can't believe him because there's nothing on his resume. Kim thought to himself, of course I know how crappy the work is. Contaminated mana. The reason monsters took over Arcane Soul. Dungeon clearing, the act of cleaning up trash which emits large amounts of contaminated mana. Also, extended exposure to mana can cause death. One man who is exposed to mana for a long time, something is happening to him. He asks for help, but no one comes closer. He emits a beam of light and thorns appear on his body. This is mutation. Because of this, the work is extremely dangerous. Choi accepts him in the company and tells him that he will call Kim as soon as they get enough people. Choi asks him again to confirm if he really wants to work. He tells Kim that he has seen plenty of people like Kim who enter this work for the money and return completely empty on the inside. Kim with an evil smile tells him that he doesn't have to worry, because Kim is better than Choi. Kim thinks that working so hard as a free-to-play is his expertise. After that, Kim meets the team leader. Leader's name is Deer. He asks him if he is the one joining the team. Kim replies with yes and tells him that he just came here because he was assigned to this team. Deer grabs his collar and angrily asks him if he thinks this is a playground for him. He asks him the reason for so much confidence in his eyes. He warns Kim to not beg for rescue if he gets mutated. Deer tells him that he will kill Kim as soon as he spots a little sign of him becoming a mutant. Kim calmly replies that he will keep it in mind and thinks, trying to scare the newbie in, everything is the same in game and in real life. One thing that Kim can't understand is why there is the R-rank character, Deer here. This is what he looked like before awakening. His legs were normal too. Then a person comes running and tells Deer that there's no need to do this to a newbie, because they're already short on work personnel. This guy has 5 years of experience in dungeon cleaning. His name is Hedgehog. Deer was doing that to him because he thinks that Kim will just become a nuisance for them and will not be able to help them in any means. After that, they reach their first location. Deer tells everyone that they have exactly 4 days to clean up 5 contaminated locations. Seeing Deer, Kim realizes that he is a lot harsher here than in the game. Hedgehog asks Kim to not be bothered by the Deer. He might be rough on the outside, but he's a nice guy. They are standing outside the dungeon. A rotten smell is coming out of the dungeon. Deer asks everyone to be ready because he's about to open the door. Inside the dungeon, there are low-rank monsters, contaminated slimes. Kim sees them and thinks that the base of cleaning up contaminated mana and monsters, contaminated slime. Although they're weak in combat, the reason why they're difficult is due to the fact that they won't die until you find the little mana core somewhere in their body. People can't find the mana core inside the slimes. If this fight drags on, they'll be exposed to contaminated mana. Kim runs towards the slime to attack. He jumps while holding the shovel and pierces the slime with it. He successfully destroys its mana core. Kim decides to warm up by killing slimes. He runs at full speed and defeats many slimes in an instant. Deer and others can't believe what they're witnessing. When Kim was about to kill the big one, he thought about what happened 2 days ago. Kim is on the ground finding something. After crawling for long enough, he found a coin with 500 written on it. System message pops up telling that he has obtained a trait, Treasure Hunt. This is the most important trait for character Kim. Kim is dancing after finding 1 coin. Other people are getting bothered because of him. Before monster cleaning, Kim learned a few rules while gathering a few necessary traits. Now he is finding something in the trash dumpster. System window pops up telling that he has obtained the trait, Contamination Resistance. This one was the hardest to get. The first thing that he learned is obtaining traits work the same as the game as long as you satisfy certain conditions. Second thing is you can have a total of 6 traits. At this moment, his trait slots are full. He can switch between the traits he has earned whenever he wants. By activating a treasure hunt, he can find the weakness of his enemy. That's why he's able to easily defeat this many slimes. He defeated all the slimes. Boss slime splatters around everywhere after it got killed by Kim. Deer and team take cover to not get exposed. But Kim is fully covered with slime and says that his hard work is paying off. Nothing is happening to Kim because of his trait, Contaminated Mana. At the end of the day, Kim takes the bus to go home. He realizes that even with all the traits working all day is very hard. Hedgehog thanks him because they are going home early thanks to Kim. Hedgehog sits beside him and asks him if he wanted to awaken like Deer. Kim replies saying, "It's nothing like that. He just knows how to work a shovel thanks to his military experience." Suddenly, horns came out from the hedgehog's head. Kim sees them and thinks that his mutation symptoms are getting worse. Looks like he has been exposed to too much contaminated mana. Kim advises the hedgehog to get some rest tomorrow because he doesn't look well. Hedgehog is doing this to not face his debt collectors, so he decides to become mutant rather than facing his debt collectors. Kim now understands Hedgehog's reasons for doing this, because most people have this same reason for doing this job. For days later, they finally completed their work. Everyone is tired because of monster cleaning. Hedgehog's health is getting worse as he is getting exposed to more contaminated mana. Kim remembers telling the hedgehog to not push too much, but he never listens. Deer comes to Kim and tells him that he looks ready to go. Deer never thought that Kim would do his work properly, but Kim did better than anyone. Kim thanks Deer for praising him. Thanks to the new traits Kim earned while monster cleaning, this kind of work is now easy for him. Deer is holding perfectly because he's R rank. Hedgehog's health is getting worse. Deer runs towards him to check the situation. Hedgehog completely turns into a big mutant. Deer are on the ground unconscious. Kim has to defeat him if he wants to get out of here. Since all the new traits he has are specialized for monster cleaning, there's nothing that will help him in combat. Here Kim realizes that he's screwed. Mutant attacks Kim and sends him flying. He hits the ground and gets pretty injured. Kim realizes that the power difference between him and the mutant is too big. That's why he might die here. System message pops up and tells him that he has obtained a new trait, Endurance. Kim remembers that he has traits. He decides to not give up. To survive, he must think how he can defeat that mutant. First, he needs to delete some traits. Strength trait will be helpful for him for now. Mana Heart will help him control mana. And Endurance will reduce all damage he takes. Mana Absorption allows him to absorb mana, and Deep Respiration grants higher mana regeneration. Lastly, the final piece to the puzzle, Corruption Resistance. Now he has equipped all the best traits. The mutant ran to attack him. Kim activates Strength trait attack back, sending mutant flying. Kim smiles because his traits are working. Mutant spins and lands on the ground perfectly fine. Kim is confused about what is going on. Mutant spins toward Kim to attack. Kim gets little scratches thanks to his endurance trait, but it still hurts like hell. He has no choice but to keep attacking. If he stops, he'll die. Mutant is attacking back using its thorns. But Kim is not backing up. He decides to keep going. Mutant Thorn's attack is very strong. Thorns pierce Kim's body. One of his arms has been completely destroyed. Kim knew that he couldn't win with this character. Kim remembers playing Arcane Soul, when he used to enjoy playing with just Warrior Kim. When he was playing the game, everything was very easy. All he needed was a single click to hunt down monsters. I never thought about how the character would feel. He simply pushed the character into extremities under the pretext of efficient training. But now, he knows that it takes suffering to obtain a mediocre trait. Kim punches the mutant and sends it flying. He was able to do that because he is using a new trait, Mutant Muscle. The reason Kim went for Reckless Attack is for the trait that is obtainable when you reach the limit with Mana Heart and Strength traits. That trait is Mutant Muscle. He did everything until now to build up for this moment. Now he is easily able to fight back the mutant. Mutant uses a very powerful attack on Kim. It makes holes in the body of Kim. Kim obtained a new trait, Mutant Body. Kim thanks the mutant. Because of him, Kim has grown further. Now Kim and Mutant are fighting equally. Deer wakes, and what he sees is Kim and Mutant are fighting equally. Deer can't believe what he is seeing in front of him. Kim and Mutant Bot get pushed back. Kim on the ground thinks that it's not easy. His size has grown similar to Mutant, but at this rate, Kim will be at disadvantage. Mutant gets up roaring, but Kim is tired and thinks to himself that he has no choice. He deletes contamination resistance and believes in himself. Kim also turns into a mutant. He uses a very powerful blast. Deer get pushed back. Kim has become a stronger and bigger mutant than Hedgehog. Deer sees Kim and thinks that he has become a mutant while fighting against one. He wonders how is that possible. This is Kim's new trait, Mutant Warrior Kim. Deer decides to run away from there. Mutant Kim moves his hand to attack Deer, but suddenly Kim turns back into his human form. He falls on the ground and says that he did it. His trait of corruption resistance was the last line of defense. If someone is in the possession of mutant form and mutant muscles, and if you delete the corruption resistance, you will become a mutant. The common belief is that once you turn into a mutant, you cannot change back. But Kim knew otherwise. Kim needs to change the trait. He knew that he would be able to change the trait as long as he was able to think reasonably even a little bit. That's how he was able to switch out mutants for corruption resistance. After the fight, Kim is very tired. It felt like all of his bones and muscles were moving around. He doesn't ever want to go through that again. However, Kim got this blur orb as a reward after defeating Mutant. This is a level 1 mana core. That's why it was all worth it. Kim is celebrating after getting that core and concludes that it was all worth it. Deer and the other two wake up. Deer asks Kim if he is okay. They are confused because they never saw someone turning into a mutant and then turning back to human form. Kim realizes that it'll be annoying if there are any strange rumors about him. Kim tells them that he just gambled on being able to turn back. His luck works and he turns back to a human completely fine. Deer can't believe that it was luck. Kim gives him so many level 0 mana cores. He mentions that he wants to go back to get some fresh air. He assumes that they'll keep their mouths shut since Kim has saved their lives and even given them so many mana cores. Kim goes back to the office. Choi has already heard that Kim went through some hardships. He is talking to him very differently compared to when Kim first came to Choi. Kim wonders why Choi is talking so friendly. Choi tells Kim that he should have told them that he's a superhuman. They would have given Kim proper work instead of cleanup work. After hearing that, Kim explains that in Arcane Soul, a superhuman awakens an ability, allowing them to obtain powerful mana. In a world like this, where strength is power and authority, superhumans are basically nobles. Well, it makes sense that Choi would think that since you'd need to be a superhuman to defeat mutants. Although Kim was able to win thanks to his traits, Choi decides to pay Kim for his cleanup work. Kim decides to let Choi think that he is a superhuman because it would grant him more privileges. Kim has cleaned up 5 regions, and personnel offices take 20% fees from the total of 50 million won. If they divide that up to how many people were in the group, I would be giving you 5 million. But Choi decides to do it differently this time. Choi just deducts a 5% fee from Kim's pay and also decides to give him a bonus. This would make his pay 12 million won. Kim's jaw dropped to the ground after seeing this big amount of money. Bro is trying to make impressions like Lloyd from the greatest estate developer. After seeing this huge sum of money, Kim decides to stick to this work for longer. Now that Kim has all this money, he wonders how he would spend it. A man that was with Kim and his team tells Kim that he looks in a pretty good mood and asks if he has got paid a lot. Kim awkwardly replies that this happened because they worked hard to clean the dungeons. The reason that man is here is because he wants to ask a favor from Kim. Kim immediately hides his money and asks what he wants. Man tells Kim that his wife is sick and that's why he's in dire need of some money for her treatment. So he was wondering if Kim could lend him some. Man also says sorry because they just met once at work. Kim doesn't know what to do now because he doesn't know him in this world. There is a chance that Kim might get betrayed at any moment. Because it's already hard enough for Kim to just support himself. The man lowers his head and asks for help. In the end, Kim takes his hand and decides to help him because he feels so bad to just ignore him. Kim gives him some level 0 mana cores. At night, we see that same man with an evil smile on his face. He calls Kim a dumbass because he just pretends to be a poor old man, and Kim gives him so many level 0 mana cores. Deer and other two from the team are also here. Deer wonder if Kim is new in this stuff. Man assumes that he would have gotten more if he said that his kids are sick too. Man found it annoying that Kim got paid more than them. They just got a little sum of money along with that fake superhuman part of their shares too. Deer knows that Kim is not a superhuman and decides to teach him a lesson. Man asks him if he has any ideas. Deer assumes that Kim must have some kind of strange ability. Since they already know his secret, they decide to teach him how scary the world can be. Next day, we see Kim in a luxurious apartment getting a massage. He never thought that he'd see the day when he could get a massage at a place like this. In-game is better than reality. When Massage Boy touches his arm, he feels a very bad pain. He mentions that he spent 3 whole days resting in this hotel, and his arm still hurts very badly. From now on, he'll have to think twice before using any mutant-related traits. Changing traits isn't as omnipotent as he thought. His body changes depending on the traits, and the severity of the side effects increases the more his body changes. The problem is where he can survive after limiting his trait usage. He looks outside and sees an Iron Fist gang. He guesses that they are still going around with that air of arrogance. He explains that Arcane Soul is dominated by local gangs rather than by law. It's only natural since there are too many monsters around, and people have to depend on superhumans. Kim did manage to survive the first bit. He says that it'd be foolish to only depend on traits in such a dangerous place. With an evil impression, he concludes that it's time to get some items. After that, we see Kim in Seoul Miscellaneous Store. A girl who works there asks him if he is here to sell some stuff. Kim tells her that he has some byproducts from monsters. Before hearing anything, the girl first mentions that she doesn't buy any level 0 mana cores. Kim tells her that he already knows this. Kim takes out the level 2 mana core and tells her that he wants to sell this. Water starts coming out from her mouth after seeing that. Kim felt good after seeing her surprised. He grinds for this level 2 mana core in the hotel room the whole night. He fused everything he had to get this mana core. Mana core price differs depending on the level, so level 2 mana core will be sold at a very high price. She bought it for 4.77 million won. After taking the money, Kim asks her if she sells any weapons or armor here. She replies with yes and decides to show Kim some weapons. Kim gets very surprised after seeing the armory. There are so many weapons like rifles and swords with many other things. All the basic items that Kim has used in the game are here. Kim concludes that it's time to gear up. Then we see Kim walking on the road with a bag full of rifles. A scared girl calls him from behind and asks him if he is a mercenary because she needs some help. Kim tells her that he is not a mercenary, so she should look for someone else. She takes out so much money from her bag and tells Kim that she is here on business, but the Iron Fist gang scares her. So she wants Kim to protect her on her way to her lodging. Kim sees the money and thinks that getting 500,000 for a bodyguard job feels like a daily quest. Kim decides to give it a try because he is all geared up. Kim puts his hand on her shoulder and tells her that he can't ignore a lady in danger. Girl thanked him. They both are walking in an empty alley. While walking, Kim wonders why she is staying in such a shady place. Because Kim has noticed that not even an ant is here. She takes a turn. That place is really dark. She tells him that they are almost there. Kim mentions that it's really dark, that's why he can't see anything here. Then a system window pops up telling that Kim has obtained a new trait, night vision. Now Kim can see everything clearly. And the first thing that he sees is that a girl is pointing a gun at him. Girl realizes that Kim is much more cautious than she expected. Kim has many questions in his mind, like who is that girl, why she is pointing a gun at him after appointing him as a bodyguard, and if this is a trap. When he looks behind, he sees Deer standing behind him. Other team members are also here. Kim asks them to tell him the reason for deserving this. Deer tells him that there is no reason. They are doing this because he just looked dumb. Before the Deer finished, Kim threw his bag, pushed aside the girl, and ran away. Deer orders the girl to shoot him. When a girl shoots the bullet at Kim, Kim got hit by a bullet and fell down. When Deer sees Kim, he tells the girl that she was supposed to hit his leg, not torso. She says that it's better than him getting away. Deer wonders if he is dead. Girl mentions that Kim returned to being human after turning into a mutant, so some mage would be willing to buy Kim's dead body. They would have gotten more money for capturing Kim alive. Man suggests that they should check his equipment and bag for now. Deer also agrees with him and decides to do that. But then he noticed that Kim had disappeared from there. They get very shocked. Something hit that old man from behind. Deer wonders if Kim is still alive. Kim himself replies saying that he can't die by a person who repays kindness with a betrayal. He survived because he exited the store after wearing the bulletproof vest. Thanks to that, he obtained the trait he needed. The trait that he obtained is called playing dead. Since Kim has broken the streetlight, they can't see anything. Kim appears behind the Deer and asks if he is looking for him. He decides to take Deer's life because he was the one who saved it in the first place. Deer get hit on the face. When the Deer tries to fight back, he gets one more hit on the face. Kim asks him if killing his savior is the right thing to do. Then the girl spots Kim and shoots at him. Kim gets hit and thinks that he was too careless. In Arcane Soul, the scariest thing isn't monsters or mutants, but people. Kim was too naive and trusted people too easily. He decides to not make the same mistake again. He takes out the gun and shoots at the girl. Then he shot the second one. Now everyone is down. Kim decides to kill Deer first to be safe. But the Deer appears behind him and lands a very powerful kick. Kim notices that the Deer's leg has transformed. This happened because the Deer had awakened as a superhuman. Kim wonders if he managed to awaken in that short period of time and calls this game a shitty game. He explains what superhuman awakening is. Since all playable characters are able to go through superhuman awakening, it's considered the basic growth system of this game. According to the world within Arcane Soul, a level 1 superhuman is strong enough to threaten an ordinary civilian holding an automatic rifle. In other words, Kim has to deal with a superhuman with nothing but his ordinary body. Deer disappear from there. He was able to do this because of his traits. Deer's traits are stereoscopic movement and kicking. Deer used stereoscopic movement to move freely in any direction. He used his movement to walk on the walk. He used his very powerful kick to attack Kim, but Kim was able to dodge it. Without wasting any time, the Deer goes for the second kick. But this time, Kim didn't dodge. He used an expandable baton to stop the Deer's kick. A few hours ago at the armory, Kim wonders if buying a gun would be worth it. Since Warrior Kim is a warrior class character, even if Kim were to grow stronger, there's a limit to how effectively he can wield a gun. Just in case, he bought a warrior class weapon too. Each character has weapons and traits that are more effective for their class. That's why in order to win against Deer, Kim needs to use a close-range weapon and traits fit for a warrior. Kim strikes down a Deer with his baton. And because of that, Kim has acquired a new trait, Strike. This is Kim's first-class specific trait. Kim uses many attacks, but Deer was barely able to dodge all of them. Deer was about to attack Kim with a very powerful kick. Kim can't dodge this now, so he decides to take the hit head-on even if it means breaking some bones. But he can't go back after coming this far. Kim keeps attacking Deer with his baton. He obtained a new trait combo. This is the best warrior class trait for early stages. He uses strike and combo traits together and attacks Deer again and again. In the end, Kim won the battle. Suddenly, a red aura starts coming out from Kim's body. He wonders what this is. His entire body is getting filled with pain. An explosion happens there. He wonders if today is going to be the day when he learns the cruel truth of Arcane Soul. Yellow aura has surrounded Kim's body. Now Kim has successfully awakened into a level 1 superhuman. He gets very happy and tries to make a face like Lloyd. He was rolling on the ground saying that not only he is going to get high-paying mercenary offers, he'll also get low-interest bank loans. Then a guy arrives behind him holding a literal bazooka in his hand. After seeing him, Kim realizes that this guy is Iron Fist Kim. He is the second basic character given in Arcane Soul after Warrior Kim, a character from the reinforced soldier class who uses firearms as their primary weapon, specializing in shooting using a prosthetic arm. The problem is that Iron Fist Kim is the feared boss of the Iron Fist gang of the underworld. Since Kim has fought within their territory, he must have seriously provoked them. Iron Fist asks him if he has checked where he is before he made this mess. Kim got a little scared. He answered saying that he was attacked so suddenly, and he couldn't just die. Iron Fist loads his gun and asks him if he is saying that those thugs were scarier than the Iron Fist gang. Seeing the gun, Kim realizes that if he fight in this condition, he'll die for nothing. Iron Fist points a gun at him and tells him that he has made a very wrong choice. He decides to show Kim what happens when he defiles their territory. Kim calms down and holds his gun, saying that he's not the type of guy to die so easily. Kim presses the trigger and shoots himself. Iron Fist couldn't believe that he just pulled the trigger on his own. After getting hit, Kim unlocked a new trait, regeneration. Seeing Kim healing like this, Iron Fist praises his ability. Kim smiles and thinks to himself that the upgraded version of the wound recovery trait, regeneration, it's a trait obtainable once you become a level 1 superhuman. It'll be over for Kim once they start looking down on him, so he'll go with the buff tactic. Kim points at the thugs that he took down and tells Iron Fist that he didn't survive out of luck. He tells Iron Fist that he doesn't care who he is. If he messes with Kim, he better brace himself. Iron Fist asks if Kim is his name and tells him that he liked his guts. Iron Fist decides to let him go, but in return, Kim owes him a debt now. He said to Kim, "You already know what that means." Kim tells him that he will remember this and wonders if Iron Fist has recognized him. Then Iron Fist advises him to work together on a job next time. Kim already knows that he isn't the type to betray someone and decides to shake hands. After that, at Jamsil Superhuman Tower, Kim is inside the tower. Seeing the beauty of the tower, he realizes that he had no idea how spectacular the tower is when he looked at it in-game. Kim looked around and said that it's completely different from his town. Then a girl welcomed him, saying, "Thank you for visiting the Superhuman Tower." She asks him politely about his work here. Kim blushed after seeing how beautiful this girl is. But she also seems familiar to Kim. He wonders if she is an NPC. Girl tells him that if he's here for a superhuman certification, he has to head to that machine in front of him to measure his mana and trait circuit. Kim thanks her and heads towards the machine, thinking that he didn't even ask for it. Yet she still guided him. That's how rookie Kim looked like. Anyway, once he gets the superhuman certification, he gets to start a real life in Arcane Soul. Suddenly, everyone started looking at the ceiling, saying the Saintess is here. Kim doesn't know about the Saintess, but to Kim, it looked like just a single airship. A beam of yellow light hits the ground. Kim gets shocked seeing a familiar face. This person is none other than a boss monster, Old Father's face. Everyone is greeting this person as a Saintess. Kim thinks to himself that since he's still on the tutorial timeline, she's a Saintess instead of a boss monster. But as the story progresses, it is revealed that the Order was actually a cult disguised as a religion, and they begin attacking citizens indiscriminately. Some people think that the Saintess is here for mana measurement, and some think that she is here for a level renewal. When she goes to the machine, a huge amount of aura is released that pushes everyone back. After the measurement ended, it was revealed that Saintess is 27. Her class is a priest with level 8 mana and 6-layered circuit. The 6-layered circuit means she can hold up to 6 traits. I'm not completely sure for now. Anyway, everyone was shocked seeing her stats. Kim gets very scared, thinking that this isn't time to be cheering for that. Because a level 8 superhuman can be compared to an aircraft carrier squadron, a walking national level superpower. And a superhuman with such strength will wipe out Seoul in the future. But even Kim said that now, everyone will treat him like a madman and throw rocks at him. That's why Kim decides to think about it in the future, and for now just measure his mana. He realizes that it'd gather too much attention if a rookie like himself had 6 traits, so he lowers them to 3. Suddenly, Saintess looked at the Kim. Her guard asked her about the matter. She answered saying that there seems to be an uncommon individual. She suddenly appeared behind him and said, "You seem to have an intriguing ability." Kim gets very surprised and thinks about what this boss monster just said to him. Kim wondered if she sensed that he just switched his traits. Seeing the situation, people start wondering why Saintas is talking to nobody like Kim. Saintas holds his hand and asks for his name. Kim introduces himself as a warrior Kim. He suddenly remembers what happens after Saintas asks for someone's name in Arcane Soul. She starts saying, "Warrior Kim, I hereby represent the Old Father's order and baptize you." She continues saying, "The Old Father, the Lord of the Black Gold Thorns, always desires rare power such as Kim's." She asks him to submit to the Lord and find peace in this hellish world. People nearby are getting jealous because nobody like Kim is getting baptized from the first daughter of the Old Father herself, while the Kim is getting angry because if he were to be baptized by Saintas and obtain the baptism trait, then he will have no choice but to become a paladin of the order. However, the Old Father's order, in the war against South Korea, loses to a significant figure in the Arcane Soul. This is like being forced to go all in on a stock that is bound to be delisted. Kim forcefully releases his hand and stops the baptism midway. He tells her that he doesn't want to be baptized. Hearing that, she gets shocked and asks him if she has heard him wrong. Kim answered saying that he is serious. Saintas didn't get angry and revealed that it is one's freedom to serve the Lord or refuse to. But she doesn't leave. She grabs Kim and tells him that the Old Father has already laid his eyes on him. She whispers in his ears, reminding him that a holy mote has already taken root inside of him. She tells him that if he cannot overcome such a tiny mote, then his feeble free will has no meaning. Yellow light surrounds Kim as he is feeling immense pain and shouting on the ground. People around him didn't help but start mocking him, saying this is his own mistake. Kim is feeling immense pain because of divine fever. This activates when one refuses to get baptized. Although Kim was prepared for this, it still hurts his body like hell. Divine fever is one of the strongest debuffs in the entirety of Arcane Soul. By causing burning pain endlessly, it prevents one from continuing with their ordinary life. The only way to get rid of it is to go to the temple to get baptized. Kim refused it because he thought about the future, but there is a chance he might die right now. Then someone throws water at Kim. This is the same girl who guided Kim here. She asks him if he is okay. Kim is very grateful seeing her, because nobody helps someone affected by the divine fever debuff, fearing the negativity might spread to them. Kim decides to endure it a little more. Then the system window pops up telling him that he has awakened a new trait, divine resistance. From the start, he doesn't refuse the baptism recklessly. The divine fever debuff gets stronger depending on the target's total amount of mana. Because he's still a level 1 superhuman, the debuff is weaker in comparison. So there are a few solutions. The first condition is to obtain the divine resistance trait. Now, he will muster up more mana within himself. He suddenly feels more pain. The girl is still here encouraging him to do his best while splashing water at him. This normal water is like the water of life for Kim in this painful situation. To release divine fever, he has to focus on this contrasting sensation, the burning pain and the cold reason. Using the mana within himself, he will extinguish the fire. A surge of mana releases from Kim's body, pushing the girl away. System tells him that he has obtained a new trait, Mana Barrier. With this new trait, Kim did it. This is the Tier 1 common trait a defensive warrior must obtain. Girl asks him if he is alright. Kim answers saying that he is fine thanks to her. Nearby people can't believe that Kim has overcome divine fever. Kim thinks to himself that he hasn't completely overcome it. This is only a temporary measure against it using the barrier. But at least with this mana barrier, he is free from that burning pain. Then, he finally gets a chance to measure his mana. He stands on the machine, and after a moment, it completes the measurement. Kim is 22 years old with mana level 1 but 6 layered circuit. People get shocked seeing how a man with level 1 mana has 6 traits. They wonder if that was why Saintas got interested in him. Kim was thinking of growing quietly, but now he has garnered too much attention. He couldn't hide his traits because of the mana barrier. Girl congratulates Kim because she has never seen someone with 6 traits at mana level 1. She asks him if they should go issue his superhuman license. After that, we see Kim receiving his superhuman license. Girl congratulates him on becoming a licensed superhuman. Seeing the license, Kim gets very happy saying that he worked so hard to get this. Then the girl decides to explain to him all the special privileges of level 1 superhumans. Kim stops her in the midway saying that he already knows all of them. The privileges are tax reduction, the right to carry weapons, and as one's level increases, exemption from all taxes, immunity from arrest, free access to all transportation, and even more benefits. Girl gets shocked after hearing that all the conditions said by Kim were correct and also praises him. Kim was about to say that he is a game addict, but some in the midway. He lies to her that he is a doctor in superhumanology. With an awkward face, Kim tells her that he doesn't like wasting time. Because outside, many people are standing to scout Kim for their guild or for an autograph of a super rookie. He asks her if there is a way to quietly get out. She gets up and tells him that she has already prepared one. She asks him to follow her. When they reached outside, Kim thanked her for taking care of him so much. She provides him with a stealth cloak and a secret passage to get out. She tells him that there is no need to say thanks, because they have to help each other. With this, Kim gets a nice trait for free stealth. She tells him that now he just has to walk out from there. Kim has to go alone because she can only guide him until here due to the rules. Kim thanks her again, saying that this much is enough. Then they both part ways. Kim looked back thinking that he didn't know such a kind person existed in Arcane Soul. On top of that, she's very pretty, so Kim decides to repay her kindness when he becomes stronger. Then he decides to check her name as he has her business card. He gets shocked after seeing her name is Beck Soren. This is the name of one of the 3 strongest SSR rank warrior characters in the game. She's a berserker, so she always had a scary appearance. He found it strange that he found her face familiar. She always had such a scary look in game that he never could have imagined that Soren used to be such a kind person. He wonders what happened to her to become that scary Soren. After that, we see Kim working as a dungeon cleaner. After a week of dungeon cleaning, he realizes that being superhuman is not that good. He thinks that he's been cleaning up these monster caves for a week straight. He feels like he's going to die from overwork. He sighs and says that he's only finished 1 cave. But he's so tired because the efficiency is not good. It's all happening because he focused all his traits on maintaining the mana barrier. If he could customize it to specialize it for monster cave cleaning, he would have been done hours ago. He can't do any other work because of the debuff that he got from Saintas. To fix Divine Fever, he needs a rare potion named Nectar. But that potion is so expensive that this cleaning job will never earn him this much. While Kim is tired and struggling to understand what to do, Director Choi keeps on calling him. He was about to cut the call, but suddenly his evil mind worked and he got a great idea. At the agency, Kim told Choi about his powers, like having 6 traits and the one who survived Divine Fever. Choi gets so surprised that he starts treating Kim like a boss. Then Kim asks him if he has found the work that he's requested. Choi asks him to not even talk about it because it's too difficult. Because Nectar is a medicine that can only be obtained from level 5 or higher superhuman requests. Kim decides to leave after hearing that. Seeing him leave, Choi reveals that he was saying this to make an exclusive contract with him and tells him that he already got it. Hearing that, Kim smirks, thinking that if it's Director Choi, desperate for a superhuman contract, he knew he would find a request with a Nectar reward. Kim sits down and asks for the contents of the request. Choi shows him the logo of the number 1 security team and asks him if he has ever heard about them. Kim responds saying that this is his first time hearing about them and wonders if this is a security firm. Choi explains that it's a private military company, one of the top 10 in the industry. The CEO and vice CEO are a married couple. Both are from traditional martial arts families, so their foundation is solid. Hearing that, Kim questions him, asking what could such a wealthy family possibly be lacking for them to issue a request. Choi tells him that their son is the problem. He has already passed 20, but hasn't awakened as a superhuman yet. This is hard to believe, because both his parents are from martial arts families. Choi tells him that the rumor says that he has accumulated level 8 mana, but just hasn't awakened yet. The condition to get this request was a level 1 or higher warrior-type superhuman. So Kim is a perfect fit for this mission. Kim decides to see them for now. Both Choi and Kim go to see them. They were sitting waiting for them to arrive. Choi assumes that the CEOs are quite busy because they're not the type to be late. Kim is just looking at the house thinking that this house must be very expensive. Then, both CEOs arrive there. Man's name is Jungju, and the woman's name is Miri. Choi get up to pay respect to them and thanks them for their time. Kim also does the same, but he was just looking at them thinking that they must be at least level 6 superhumans. Both of them possess a considerable amount of mana. Jungju is a rude guy. Seeing Kim, he says that he's weak. Seeing him like this, Miri asks him to go to room if he is going to talk like this. But he refuses to go. They both sit down. Miri asks them to take a seat. Seeing Kim and Choi coming all the way here, Miri assumes that they will take their request. Kim adds a condition. He says that he wants to check their son's condition to see if there's a special reason preventing him from awakening. Hearing that, Jungju gets very angry and asks Kim if he really thinks he'd tell that to a rookie like him. Miri stops Jungju and tells that he's getting angry because this is related to their son, and also tells that they can't tell something like this to an outsider. If he accepts the request, only then they call their son and explain the situation. Looking at Kim, Miri also realizes that he is in a dire need of nectar. Hearing that, Kim thinks there's a problem with their son that needs to be kept confidential, and they also know what he wants. Kim is becoming more and more certain like this. So Kim decides to accept the request and asks them to call their son. Then, the son enters the room and introduces himself as Woo Jin. Kim gets up and gives his greetings. Suspiciously enough, Kim can't feel any mana from Woo Jin. Seeing the pattern on Woo Jin's gloves, Kim says that he has a cool glove. Woo Jin says that it's more than he deserves, but he always uses it with gratitude. Then Kim shocked everyone saying that he keeps it with gratitude because he needs a very strong mana seal. Kim explains that he became sure the moment he saw gloves. Even though it's a matter involving the critical affairs of their noble family, they deliberately set the condition to require a warrior-type level 1 superhuman and used next as bait to lure Kim. Since Woo Jin has also been baptized by the Old Father's order, that's why their son hasn't been able to awaken is because he rejected the baptism and sealed away his mana to avoid divine fever. And while they couldn't publicly announce it and were struggling with it, they must have heard the recent rumor about a level 1 superhuman overcoming divine fever and decided to seek him out. Woo Jin gets so amazed after hearing that explanation that he thought Kim is the protagonist of a detective novel, and also now there's no need for Woo Jin to explain. Kim was able to tell all this because he already knows the future. The moment he saw the picture, he got the gist of it. Because in the future, Woo Jin becomes the vanguard paladin of the Old Father's order. He refused the baptism and held out, but his parents lost their power. And so, he succumbed and joined the Old Father's order. Now the whole family is amazed. Even Jungju, who was arrogant a moment ago, is all gentle, and if there is a way for their son to escape the baptism, Kim says that there is a way. He knows this because of the 10k hours that he spent on Arcane Soul. Kim puts his hands on Woo Jin's shoulder, asking him to not worry because Kim has also goes through the same pain as Woo Jin. Woo Jin gave Kim a hug. With Lloyd-type expressions, Kim thinks that he doesn't give a damn if she's the saintess. How dare she try to baptize Kim into some lowly cult? Now her future subordinate is on his side. Before starting the treatment, Kim tells them that he wants to add a condition. They asked why he wanted to add a new condition. Kim answered saying that the difficulty of the request has increased. That's why he is adding an additional condition. Hearing that, Miri realizes that this request isn't just about mana awakening now, but overcoming divine fever. She asks him if can heal Woo Jin. He can add any condition he wants. Kim's new condition is that he wants them to teach him mountain-breaking swordsmanship. Hearing the new condition, Miri gets really angry and asks him if what he said is correct. Seeing her angry, Kim was able to feel her killing aura and was getting pushed back by it. He realizes that Miri is now even scarier than Jungju. Kim already knew that she would get angry because of his new condition, mountain-breaking swordsmanship. One might doubt Kim's decision to learn swordsmanship in a 21st century information era. However, it is different in Arcane Soul, where strength equates to authority. Because a superhuman swordsman can easily destroy an entire tank, high-level martial arts are traded for a fighter jet squadron, which is worth trillions of won. If a level 1 superhuman learns and continuously trains in the mountain-breaking swordsmanship, they can reach level 4 without any difficulties whatsoever. It is basically a cheat code for early game. Kim remembers that it is said that only the elites could learn this swordsmanship. He wonders if it crossed the line. To calm her down, Kim tells her that she has to teach him only if he completes the request. For her son, she calms down and agrees to add this condition. Then, she respectfully said that if he succeeded, she'll give him a memory chip containing mountain-breaking swordsmanship along with the nectar. Kim can't believe that it worked and thanks her. He was thinking that she is going to kill him, but the risk that he took was worth it, because now he'll get swordsmanship with nectar. Before he started, Miri warned him that if he failed to complete the request, she and her husband would be very disappointed and angry. Kim promises them that he will complete the request and decides to start. They have prepared a room with a mana focusing circle and 200 intermediate grade mana potions. Seeing the room, Kim said that this is exactly what he wanted and told them that he wanted to be alone with the patient during treatment. Before leaving, Miri said sorry for what she did earlier and told that Wu Jin was forcefully baptized before he could even start going to school. He never had the chance to make friends, let alone go on a family picnic. He had to suffer while being forced to be stuck in his room. She realized that they treated Kim harshly because of such a situation. From now on, she has all his hopes on Kim. Seeing her like this, Kim realizes that everyone in their family had to suffer because of the Saintess trap. For now, Wu Jin is with his family, but in the game, he ends up opposing his own family. It makes sense that he would become such a cold person in the future. Kim has started to feel bad for them. He asks her not to worry and tells her that he will succeed at all costs. Now that they are alone, Kim decides to start the treatment. But for some reason Wu Jin is shaking with fear. Kim questioned him why he was shaking and asked him not to worry. Wu Jin was shaking because he was thinking that Kim is going to torture him through some sort of drug injection or electric shock to forcefully awaken him. Hearing that, Kim asked him what kind of treatment he was receiving until now. Kim thinks that the general treatment to cure divine fever is to drink nectar after awakening. However, because Wu Jin had too much mana accumulated in his body, the divine fever was too severe for him to awaken, and all else failed. Then, Kim tells him that he doesn't need to worry, but just has to remember one thing. Kim asks him to keep everything he'll see during today's treatment a secret. After Wu Jin promised, Kim decides to start. First, he has to expand the mana barrier to the absolute limit. Then, the barrier will get weaker. When he did that, he felt so much pain and quickly started drinking mana potions as fast as he could. It tasted so bad, but he had to do it to get a new trait, drug addiction. This trait will increase damage received and mana consumption, but the effects of the drug are abnormally enhanced. Now that Kim has obtained the drug addiction trait, if he focuses his mana on the shield, because he did all this, his divine fever has been completely pushed out of the barrier. Wu Jin gets amazed seeing that, but Kim says that it's too early to be surprised. Kim asks to take off his mana sealing glove and push his hand out of the barrier. Then he just has to grab Kim's hand. Wu Jin is scared because if they did this, then divine fever will start a resonance reaction. Kim goes out of the barrier and tells him that his divine fever will be bearable because he will be inside the barrier. Kim asks him to not ask any questions and just listen to him. Wu Jin takes out the glove for the first time after being baptized. After taking off the glove, when he takes his hand out of the barrier, it emits a large amount of mana. Seeing that, Kim wonders how much mana does Wu Jin's body has. It is going to be dangerous, but Kim has to grab Wu Jin's hand. When he grabbed it, he felt immense pain. It hurts even more than when the Saintess baptized him. To him, it feels like his bones are being shattered into pieces. But he has to maintain focus and endure the pain. He starts cursing the Saintess and her divine fever. Suddenly, he jumped inside the barrier saying that it's success. He has unlocked a new trait, damage absorption. Wu Jin can feel that, even if he is not wearing gloves, it's bearable now. Kim tells him that this happened because they go through all that crap. Kim explains that in addition to the barrier, he's used damage absorption to take part of his divine fever for himself, meaning Wu Jin's divine fever is now severely weakened. Now for the final stage, Kim asks Wu Jin to attack him until he awakens. Hearing that, Kim realizes that it's time for him to use the swordsmanship he's practiced since his childhood. Wu Jin attacked Kim, but Wu Jin was stronger than he had expected. He broke an iron arm guard with a wooden sword, because of which Kim has obtained a new trait, Protect. But even with this new trait, he'll be in a critical state from one strike of Wu Jin. He can't believe that the guy who hasn't even awakened yet is attacking like this. He wonders what kind of swordsmanship Miri has taught to her child. Kim is having a hard time just dodging the attacks. Suddenly, Wu Jin starts glowing, emitting yellow light. This indicated that he is really close to awakening. While Wu Jin's shine is okay, but his sword is also shining with the same color. Wu Jin has become an SSR character with the title, One with the Sword. Kim is shocked seeing that Wu Jin has reached a state where the sword becomes the person. That's an insanely overpowered trait for the warrior class. But the problem is, Wu Jin is in a complete trance state. He launched an attack at Kim. Seeing that attack coming toward him, he realizes that he will die if he gets hit by this attack. He thinks fast and quickly equips all the defensive traits, and then by combining two traits he was able to create a mana shield. This trait protected him from Kim's attack. Kim couldn't believe that he was about to die by a person who has a title of One with the Sword. Wu Jin finally gets exhausted and goes to sleep. Kim isn't happy seeing him getting unconscious after almost killing him. He sits beside Wu Jin realizing that he went berserk for a bit because he just got awakened. In the game, Wu Jin was a strong character, with the rank of SSR. But because he awakened as a warrior, not a paladin, he acquired One with the Sword as a starting trait. Kim realizes that he has created a monstrous warrior by awakening Wu Jin into a warrior instead of paladin. For now, Kim doesn't know how the change will affect his future. However, it's not a bad thing, because Wu Jin is a guy with a silver spoon and immense strength, and now he owes Kim a favor. Then the scene shifts, and we see Wu Jin resting in the bed. Standing beside him are his parents. They both thank Kim for helping Wu Jin to overcome divine fever. Kim tells them that it's nothing as he had already told them he could do it. Choi is still treating Kim like a boss. Miri is very happy since it's been a long time since they saw Wu Jin sleep so peacefully. She doesn't know how to repay this debt. Zhangju tells him that along with the promised nectar and the memory chip with the mountain-breaking swordsmanship, he'll also provide him with an additional success fee. Hearing that, Kim tells him that there's no need for it. But he gets shocked when he hears that the additional fee that he is going to get is 1 billion won. He immediately accepts the money, saying that it had hurt his heart to reject it twice. On their way home, Choi told Kim that today was a jackpot for him. He got nectar and a chip with a strong swordsmanship. Choi asks him if he is going to drink the nectar right away. Kim answered with yes, and told him that he is going on a hiatus for a bit. Choi understands the reason for the hiatus. He knows Kim doesn't want to catch the attention of the old father's order or those who hear about his rewards. Choi isn't happy with his decision of drinking the nectar right away. If he refined the nectar and consumed it, it would significantly boost his mana. Kim already knows this. If he could refine the nectar and drink it, he could raise his superhuman level by a lot, instead of having to spend it on curing the divine fever. When Kim reached his destination, Choi told him that he will try to find the equipment necessary to refine nectar and advised him to take it a little later. But when Choi left, Kim forgot the advice and decided to drink the nectar right away. He learned how cruel Arcane Soul could be during the deer incident. He can't guarantee that Director Choi won't betray him. Anyway, he already has the traits that can maximize the nectar's effect, so it doesn't even matter. When he drank the nectar, he felt immense pain and felt like every fiber of his muscles was being disassembled and reassembled. Also, an incredible mana is being stored inside him. A beam of yellow light released from the whole building, and Kim turned into a level 2 superhuman. Also, by curing the divine fever with nectar, he got one of the best tier 1 traits in the game. Black Flame has been added to his list of traits, along with the mountain-breaking swordsmanship. He is feeling very relieved. He can focus on training these 2 traits, and there won't be any problems. Suddenly, he receives a text from Director Choi. He wonders why Choi is texting him at this time. He tried to ignore the text, but he kept on messaging. In the end, he checked his phone. There were so many strange messages. He wonders what he wants to say, and also realizes that Choi never texted him much before. Suddenly, he noticed that inside of this strange message is a hidden message that said, "Run away from the Dagger Gang." The Dagger Gang. They're one of the opposing gangs of the Iron Fist Gang. He realizes that if Director Choi wanted to betray him, he would have classed him like usual to stall for time. Considering he sent this secret message to Kim, it must mean that Director Choi was caught first. He assumes that information was leaked when he was trying to prepare the equipment. He decides to ignore this message since he already got the nectar that he needed. Because everyone's responsible for their own life in Arcane Soul. Then the scene shifts and we see that Director Choi is getting tortured by a dagger gang. They call him a stubborn guy because he hasn't told them anything about Superhuman Rookie even after getting this much beating. Choi tells them that he will never tell them anything about him because Kim signed the contract with Choi because he trusted him. Hearing that, the dagger gang decided to do something that they never wanted to do. A man asked him, "Which hand do you use to eat?" After getting no answer, he decides to cut down the right hand. Suddenly, a big explosion happened, because of which, some of the dagger gang's members got injured. One injured person tells the boss that some crazy person is throwing grenades at them. We see Kim is the one who did all this. He says that they picked the wrong guy to mess with. He changed his mind because he couldn't just leave someone who keeps their promises in this cruel world of Arcane Soul. He launched another grenade saying that the war had begun. Grenade perfectly hit the target, destroying many things. Now, the dagger gang has also picked up the guns trying to find the person who is launching grenades at them. They all rushed out to find the person who was doing this. Kim was already expecting that they would rush out of the building like a bunch of cockroaches. Even though the building looked like a normal apartment, he knew that the dagger gang were in there. Because this is the dagger gang dungeon that he cleared until he got sick of it. It's a complex dungeon consisting of 6 different buildings. Because the dagger gang quest is one of the tutorial quests, he can clear it with his eyes closed at this point. He jumps off the building saying that here comes the veteran to clear the quest. Dagger gang has split out to find Kim. 3 members were walking alone in an alley, assuming that the Iron Fist gang is the one attacking them. They assume that the Iron Fist gang is the only ones capable of pulling off such a crazy feat. One person was thinking of beating the one who is behind this to a pulp. Suddenly, he heard a voice and decided to check it alone. When he was casually checking the place, Kim came out and took him down easily. He wasn't able to see Kim even though he was in front of him, because he has new traits that he got by combining different traits. One is stealth and the second is feigning death. Kim decides to enter the main building while the dagger gang is finding him outside. He entered through the secret entrance, avoiding combat as much as possible. Kim already knows that the dagger gang loves to put their hostages right beside their boss's room on the 5th floor, so there's still some way to go. He's moving as stealthily as possible so as to not get caught. Suddenly, someone announced to the speaker that the enemy had infiltrated the building. They order all the members to arm themselves up and gather at the designated assembly point. Immediately, Kim realized that he had found out. Conflicted, he stands in front of the door saying that if he gets out of here, there's the lobby. And it's the most optimal route because there's the central staircase that leads upstairs. The problem is, once they noticed that the intruder was in the building, they put up a barricade in the lobby to form a defense line. If he were to open this now, he'd be riddled with bullets. Still, he opened the door with an evil smile. There were many members holding guns. Kim wasn't scared because he had a machine gun. First, he used the machine gun to take down as many of them as possible, and then threw a grenade at them. He was hiding behind the door saying that going the hard way around isn't his style, as he knew that one grenade isn't going to be enough, so he gave them more. Bro is just enjoying hearing the screams while hiding behind the door. After that, when he entered the room, all of them were taken down. He looked around and wondered if this was all of them. He assumes that there can be some survivors left and decides to not let his guard down. His assumption got correct as there was one person alive. He shot a bullet at him. Kim barely dodged it because of his trait, sensitive. He took that last person down. As there are no minions left now, he decides to go upstairs. He was cautiously walking up thinking that even though he has gotten to the 4th floor without anything happening, the real danger starts now. There will be gang members waiting on the 4th floor, the gambling room, right before the 5th floor, and the boss's room. When he got up, he hid behind the wall to check the scene, but he was shocked seeing that there was no one there. There's nobody in the gambling room either. He realized that something is not right here and used his trait called Focus. Upon activating, he heard a voice of something from above. Suddenly, a drone entered the room that threw a flash grenade there. Now as Kim couldn't see properly, someone came out and launched an attack at Kim with a knife. He successfully landed the attack saying, "I gotcha, you little rat." This is the boss of the Dagger Gang and is level 2 superhuman. Kim looked back perfectly fine because of his shield. He told the boss that the knife didn't go through. Startled, the boss backed up. Seeing the boss, Kim tells him that he's the one dressed up like a rat. Kim is a little worried from inside because he never expected to see the boss on the 4th floor. Even though this attack that the boss launched at him wasn't from the game, he still was able to read the pattern. Kim explains how he was able to tell the boss attack pattern. Kim thinks that the flashbang is the linked attack pattern that activates once the player enters the boss room. He had to equip the sensitive and focus traits before the boss ambushed him. As the boss of the Dagger Gang is an assassin, he has to feel where his attack will come from with his 5 senses. Boss is surprised because Kim has blocked his ambush. Kim tells him to not be surprised already and takes out his sword. He tells the boss that he will make him regret targeting him. Kim ran to attack the boss, but Kim was so slow. Boss suddenly appeared behind Kim and said, acting all cool for someone so slow. Boss throws a dagger at him, but he was able to deflect it with the sword. Kim was already expecting this kind of speed because the boss is an assassin. Kim has survived until now thanks to his sensitive and focus traits. There's poison magic imbued in the boss's dagger, so even if it just touches Kim, it will send Kim to the afterlife. Kim realizes that the longer the fight will continue, the more disadvantageous he will be. Seeing how Kim barely deflected the attack, the boss called him a lucky guy and told him that if he surrendered now, he would only take one of his arms and show mercy. Kim, who wasn't scared even a little, asked the boss to stop spouting bullshit and come at him. Boss has already realized that Kim is a gunner by seeing his lousy form holding that sword. He says to Kim that he got a big mouth for someone who can't even assess the situation. Hearing that, Kim thinks that the boss has misjudged him as a reinforced soldier as he's been using firearms until now. Boss ran to attack announcing that he will slice Kim apart and will kill him as painfully as possible. Kim also runs thinking that he only has one chance. And that's now, while the boss has his guard down. The boss easily dodges the attack and calls Kim too slow. But something happened that the boss was never expecting. Kim swings the sword midway. Seeing that, the boss got shocked thinking about how a gunner was using a combo attack. The boss was barely able to deflect the attack with his dagger, but now he is on the ground. Kim switched his trait and told the boss that he is no longer a gunner when he switched his traits, but a class warrior armed with swordsmanship. He uses mountain-breaking swordsmanship first form named Mountain Crusher. With one attack, he made boss severely injured. This happened because the boss let his guard down. Angered, the boss throws his dagger at Kim saying that it's not over yet. With this, the boss died, but Kim also got pierced by the dagger. He got hit by the dagger because he let his guard down at the end. After taking out the dagger, Kim realized that the poisons already started circulating through his body. He decided to switch his current traits to all the healing traits that he has. Then, he got up saying that he can endure it, but it hurts. Outside, people are still finding the intruder. Seeing those people, Kim realized that there's no time to waste. He has to get out of this building as soon as possible. At Dagger Gang's headquarters' 5th floor named Torture Room, we see that manager Choi is still all tied up and is trying to free himself. He thinks that he has to get out of here quickly. Then, Kim arrived there and asked him how he ended up getting caught. He untied manager Choi saying that he's quite a handful. Meanwhile, Choi can't believe that Kim came all the way here to save him. Immediately after untying Choi, Kim tells him that they have to get out of here as other gang members are coming this way. When Choi got up fully injured, Kim realized that he got very injured after getting tortured by a Dagger Gang. Realizing that Choi will not be able to walk fast enough, Kim asked him to hop on his back. First, Choi told him that there's no need, but as they have to get out of here as quickly as possible, there's no other choice. Seeing Choi, Kim can't believe that he kept his loyalty even in such harsh condition and while enduring brutal torture. Kim thought that the world of Arcane Soul was a hellish world, but there's a surprising, touching feeling to it. After that, at the Seonsu workspace, we see Kim is drinking so much alcohol. He did all this just to obtain a poison resistance trait. Choi is holding many bottles asking Kim if he needs more. Kim said that he doesn't need any more as he already got the trait. Suddenly, Choi apologized to Kim. He assumed that information was leaked when he was preparing the nectar for Kim. He realized that he shouldn't have trusted his employees. Hearing that, Kim tells him that it's fine and reveals that he has already drunk the nectar. Choi gets angry and asks him the reason for drinking the nectar. Kim answered that if he hadn't drunk the nectar, he wouldn't have been able to save him. Hearing that, Choi gets even more sad thinking that Kim drank the precious nectar just to save him. The thing, Choi doesn't know that Kim didn't drink it for him, but Kim decided to let him think whatever he wants. Suddenly, someone knocked on the door. Hearing that, Choi wondered if the Dagger Gang was already here. He asked Kim what they should do now. Completely calm, Kim decided to welcome their precious guests. When he opened the door, it wasn't a Dagger Gang but an Iron Fist Gang. And it seems like Kim is the one who called them here. Iron Fist Kim already knew that Kim isn't an ordinary guy, as now he has even annihilated the Dagger Gang. He asked Kim of the reason for calling him here. Kim thinks that he called them here because it's his turn to get the reward for clearing a difficult mission. The Iron Fist Gang and Dagger Gang are rival gangs who are having a power struggle to claim the ownership of the Silim area. In the game, the tutorial required the player to annihilate the Dagger Gang by helping the Iron Fist Gang. For destroying the Dagger Gang, the Iron Fist Gang offered a lot of rewards. Then, Iron Fist Kim asked him if he was planning on making a new organization or something. Kim answered saying that running an organization isn't his style and reveals the reason for calling them here. He tells Iron Fist Kim that he can have the area that the Dagger Gang has been occupying, as Kim prefers to stay solo and have no intention of stepping into the underworld. He gave up on the land to repay the debt for the last time. Iron Fist Kim realizes that this is an offer where he has nothing to lose. But to him, it seems a little overwhelming compared to the debt Kim had last time. From the start, this is what Kim wanted. As now they are on the same page, Kim asked him to grant him a wish in return for having that Silim area. Iron Fist Kim decides to hear the wish first before agreeing to it. Kim thinks to himself that it's something that everyone in Seoul wants to have. And Kim's wish is, he wants a house. Hearing the wish, Iron Kim said, "A house, you say?" Kim tells him that since he works alone in this harsh world, he's realized the need for a proper base. He starts acting in front of Iron Kim, saying that his stomach was injured while fighting against the Dagger Gang. He did this to show how hard he worked to defeat the Dagger Gang. In the end, Iron Kim agrees to give him a house since he has worked hard to defeat the Dagger Gang. Kim is happy, saying to Iron Kim that he likes how straightforward he is. Then, Iron Kim asks about the features that his house should have and asks him what he wants, like villa or an apartment. Kim answers that he doesn't want anything fancy. He said that he just wanted a normal standalone house with guaranteed security and soundproofing. And additionally, he wanted a training facility in the basement. Hearing that, Iron started thinking about what to say, while the Kim is making weird faces wanting to hear yes. His wish comes true as Iron Kim said that there is one that he knew. It's a house located at the ridge of Jeonnabong. That's the very house given to the player as the first base in Arcane Soul. Now, Kim is in his own house, finally getting a feeling of having a proper home. He is happy with everything, like scenery, house, and all its features. He remembers that when he fell into Arcane Soul at first, he had no idea what he'd do. At that time, his hospital bill was like 20 million. But now he has a house like a palace. Not only that, he have the money from #1 security and Director Choi. Kim could now afford to stay in the hospital without worrying about the bill. But this is Arcane Soul. There's no time to bask in success. Once the game's plot progresses, vicious villains like the Saintess of the Old Father's Order will appear and destroy the city. After enjoying all the scenery, he has finally decided to go find the real reason for choosing this house. At the underground training facility. First, he checked the place, saying that it should be here. Saying that, he started digging with the pickaxe. With one strike, he finds a passage. Seeing that, he giggles and says, "My trait is at work, it seems." He said that he might be able to finish this faster than he thought. So, he started working to find the real reason for buying this house. But after just a little work, he realized that it would not take less than he expected. He got really exhausted and said that he didn't realize when he played the game that it was this deep. But he can't give up after coming this far. With a little more work, he's found the thing that he wanted. Water started coming out from the ground. When Kim drank it a little, mana started surrounding his body. He said that he loved this taste and explained that this is. He can feel his body healing up in real time. What he just experienced are the effects of Mana Spring. a spring brimming with mana, the Mana Spring. Even characters whose HP has dropped to 0 can quickly recover when soaked in the Mana Spring, and most debuffs disappear, showcasing its incredible therapeutic properties. The place where you can access such an amazing Mana Spring for free is none other than the Jeonnabong House, the first base provided by the Iron Fist Gang. Kim had to go through a lot of trouble to get here, unlike in the game where he could get it done in a single click. He is bathing in the Mana Spring, saying that it's so full of vitality that he can easily feel the effect. The Mana Spring had such amazing therapeutic effects that it is perfect for training, because Kim could heal right back up even if he ran out of stamina and got back to training. Now, he has decided to start the one and only free-to-play Rankers Extreme Efficiency training. After 2 weeks, he is standing in the training room thinking that it's been 2 weeks since he locked himself up in this room for training. Now, he can activate the Black Flame with no problem. Immediately, he starts testing the results of his 2 weeks training by swinging his sword covered with mana and black flames. After testing, he is satisfied because now he can easily use the mountain-breaking swordsmanship along with the Black Flame. One more thing are the useful traits that he earned during the training. Now that he's completed the training goal, there's only one more important thing left for him to do, and that is the mana cultivation technique, which he cannot obtain through training. If he had refined the nectar before drinking it, he could have reached superhuman level 3. But because he's only level 2 right now, there's still some mana left in his body. To fully absorb the mana of nectar and reach level 3, he needs the mana cultivation technique. But it's not easy to obtain, because it's worth tens of billions. He remembers how at an antique shop he bought a technique called mana cultivation. Even though the shopkeeper tells him this technique has been sitting in his warehouse for decades, Kim still bought it. When Kim used to play this game, he assumed that he's the only person who knows that mana cultivation technique is hidden in an antique shop. Now, Kim decides to go to that same antique shop to buy it. He went there jumping and singing, "It's time to level up." Unfortunately, when he reached there, the shop was closed. On top of that, there's even a mana seal on the door so that no one can enter. Shinwon Marketplace is the place with the most shops in the area. There's nothing this place doesn't sell. Kim remembered that when he used to play this game, this shop always stayed open no matter what the time was. But for some reason the marketplace is closed. And what's more is that most of the other shops are also closed down beside this one. Here he realized that this world of Arcane Soul is different from the one he knew. He went around and saw a person sitting outside a shop that is open. He asked him if the market situation is not so great these days. Kim realized that this man is a shop owner, and for some reason he wasn't in the good mood. He pointed in the other direction and asked Kim if he couldn't tell just by looking. He says that the thugs fight day in and day out, because of which there are no customers coming to this market. Kim points out that this is the Iron Fist Gang's territory, so there shouldn't be any thugs in this area. Hearing that man said, "Iron Fist Gang, my foot." He says that even since the Dagger Gang got wiped out, all kinds of thugs have been fighting against each other every day. The Iron Fist Gang, the Poison, and the Naked Gang. Hearing the explanation, Kim realized what was going on. He thinks that in the original game story, the Iron Fist Gang destroys the Dagger Gang themselves, and claims the ownership of the territory they used to own, which naturally put this Shinwon Marketplace under their control. But this time, Kim was the one who destroyed the Dagger Gang. Because of that, this marketplace became a battlefield as other gangs are trying to claim it. He wonders what to do now. Suddenly, he heard someone shouting. The voices clearly showed that someone was fighting. Men also realized that someone was fighting again. Seeing the situation, Kim decides to go himself and take a look at those thugs. Scene shifts and we see some gang members are using violence on some people. A girl said to them, "Don't you remember? I said this three-way intersection was the Poison Gang's territory. The people she is beating are from the Iron Fist Gang." She showed them her metallic middle finger and asked them to go back to their corner. This girl is a Steel Scorpion who is the underboss of the Poison Gang. She is an N-rank character and is also level 2 superhuman. Right then they heard another voice asking, "What's all this fuss about in our territory?" These pervert-looking men are from a Naked Gang. The underboss of the Naked Gang also claimed this three-way intersection territory to be his. Underboss of the Poison Gang asked them to stop with the nonsense and get lost. Hearing that, the underboss of the Naked Gang asked her if she wants to continue this sacrilege. While they were fighting, a guy from the Iron Fist gang was about to run away. But then, Kim arrived there and asked the guy what was going on. Seeing Kim, the guy immediately realized that Kim is a level 2 superhuman who wiped the Dagger gang out. Kim then helped him stand up and asked him to do this properly. Immediately, Kim asked all the gang members from both gangs to stop fighting with each other and asked them to gather in front of him. Guy standing beside was scared and asked him what he was doing. Kim just asked him to stay, saying that he's helping him here. Kim is here to put the marketplace back to normal. For that, he needs to set a clear hierarchy. He thinks that it'd be better to help the Iron Fist gang. Because Kim ordered them, both the underboss of Poison and also the Naked gang got angry at him. Kim knows that these two are level 2 superhumans, and Kim is also confident enough that he can defeat them using everything he has. But doing that might cause unnecessary damage to the merchants. So he decides to show them his strength first. He took out his sword and covered it with an aura. Seeing that, they both realized that this is mountain-breaking swordsmanship and divine fever. So, they asked him if he was the one who annihilated the Dagger gang alone. Kim answered with yes and said that he will be generous enough and make them an offer that they cannot refuse. He asked them to not complicate things and that they should fight one-on-one. The winner will take control of the market. Proposing that, he asked them if this is fair or not. Scorpion Girl asked him if he thinks they're dumb enough to fight a warrior one-on-one. Hearing that, Kim asked her to not worry and announced that they'll compete in the category she and that pervert guy is most confident in. First match is between Kim and the pervert guy. The match rules are simple. Pervert guy will use his mind control ability, and if Kim resists it, he will win. Seeing how Kim easily understood his rules, he said to Kim, "It's an honor that such a handsome man like yourself knows so much about us." Pervert even asks Kim to put aside this needless competition and invites him to their religion of the primordial goddess. Kim calls their religion disgusting and asks why he would even join them. He tells the pervert that his religion isn't even part of the 7 religions or among the second-tier religions. It's a literal no-name. Kim asked him why he would join a pseudo-religion that's not even listed in the place of Westphalia. Hearing all that made the pervert really angry. He said to Kim that he'll modify his mind with the love and mercy of their goddess. He casts his spell saying, "Kneel before me, and I shall bestow upon you the opportunity to meet our goddess." Seeing the spell, Kim thought that the mind control trait of a priest class is strong. This spell is making Kim want to kneel, but he doesn't and sends the pervert flying with just a punch. Kim smirks maniacally, thinking that not even Saint Ass was able to make him submit. He has a divine resistance trait that helps him resist mind control spells. Because the Naked gang has lost, they retreat for now. Now it's the Scorpion Girl's turn. Before starting, she warns him that the Poison gang is on a different level from those Naked gang people. Hearing that, Kim just said that he doesn't know about that, and told her that they'll find out once they start. As her specialty is brewing poison, Kim asks her to brew the strongest one for him, and he'll drink it. Scorpion Girl decides to prepare her poison, saying that if he wants to die that much, she'll help him out. Suddenly, Guy from the Iron Fist gang came to stop Kim, saying that he knows how strong Kim is, and warns him that drinking poison from Poison gang is just suicide. Kim is still confident in drinking the poison, saying that he'll be fine. She has finally prepared her deadliest poison. Kim just has to make sure to stay alive in order to win this match. Seeing the poison, Kim realized that she gave him the poison named Picnic KO. It's the poison that causes the most pain among their poisons. Kim said that the poison smells awful and asks her to be prepared to take a punch if he doesn't die from this. She is fully confident that Kim will not be able to withstand the poison and asked him to not beg for the antidote after he drank it. When Kim drank the poison, he suddenly fell to his knees, because to him, it felt like his blood was boiling. Scorpion Girl, thinking that she won, tells Kim that if he begged for the antidote while barking, she'll then maybe consider helping him. But Kim is still determined and thinking that he has to focus. As a Poison gang's poison is created by mixing in special antidotes, so just poison resistance won't help. He has to withstand the damage as much as possible with healing traits and control the poison somehow. Kim stands up showing signs of recovery, but his hand is still poisoned. Seeing that, Scorpion Girl realizes that Kim is focusing all the poison energy on his arm. Right then, he received a trait called drug resistance. Suddenly, Kim started seeing the poison in his hand. Thanks to obtaining drug resistance, he can now control poison with his mana. For the last, he made a cut in his hand using his sword, because of which, the poison splattered out from his hand. Scorpion Girl can't believe what she just witnessed. Now Kim is fully recovered. He grabbed the girl's hand and said, "That poison tasted really bad. It's my turn now." With that, he breaks her artificial finger. In pain, she asked him if he thinks he can get away with doing this to her. Kim didn't care and asked her to stop with this typical loser talk and get lost. With that, the Scorpion Girl retreated with her poison gang, saying she'll remember this. Seeing them retreat, Iron Fist Gang started cheering for Warrior Kim. Kim was already certain that he'll win, but what matters the most starts now. Merchants who were standing nearby witnessing everything realized that the Iron Fist Gang won. One girl said that she wondered how much the Iron Fist Gang would harass them. Kim asked the member from the Iron Fist Gang, "You admit that I did everything to achieve this, right?" He answered with yes. Hearing the answer, Kim tells him that there's one thing the Iron Fist Gang must keep in mind in this marketplace. Kim tells him that the protection fee for this market will be half of what the Dagger Gang used to take. Guy gets really shocked, because if they agree with that, then they will earn close to no revenue. Hearing his complaints, Kim got angry and asked him if he's talking back to him right now. Seeing Kim like this, the guy said that he's not complaining and said that their boss will understand. Merchants, after hearing that they will have to pay half the protection fee from now on, said that Kim is their savior. From the start, Kim was already aiming for this. When they all thanked Kim, he said that he only did what he had to, and asked them to remember to give him some discounts from now on. Kim thought that the Sure One marketplace literally has everything. Moreover, by doing this, he has increased the favorability value of merchant NPCs. All the merchants have decided to give Kim an 80% discount. After that, when Kim enters the antique shop, the owner mentions that he has heard many things about him from the other merchants. They call him the hero who saved Shinwon Marketplace. Kim just said that he just did what was the right thing to do. Owner said that he absolutely did the right thing, as because of those thugs, the owner had to keep this shop closed. And even his arm broke because he got in a fight with those people. Seeing the broken arm, Kim asked the owner if he made sure to get the arm treated. Owner told him that he got a Qigong treatment, and it proved to be very effective. He said that if it weren't for the therapist, he would still be stuck in the hospital. Hearing that, Kim asks him if there's really a Qigong therapist in Shillem. Owner answered yes and asked him if he should introduce that therapist to him, and also said that he's very good at what he does. Kim said that he'd appreciate it, but first, he has something to buy from this place. Owner asked him to take a look and said that they have everything except the one they don't have. After taking a look, Kim said that there's a lot of quality goods out there, but he kicked the ground and asked the owner if he could see the items down there. The owner got really shocked because he never told Kim about something being down there. Kim made an evil face and said that he has his own ways. In the next moment, the owner guides Kim to the place where no unauthorized person can enter. Before entering the room, the owner said that he only showed this much to a first-time customer, but he's only showing the items that are inside to Kim because it's him. When they entered the room, the owner Chunbok explained that this is a collection of magical products and gave Kim permission to look around as much as he'd like. Kim happily looked around thinking that Chunbok had a lot of great items in the game too. After some searching, he found an item that he was looking for. This item is called the Hornpipe of the Ancient God, which has the mana cultivation sealed within it. This is the jackpot item for Kim. Kim with the shiny eyes said that he has secured the best item, so now he has decided to take everything else that is useful. In the end, he bought glasses, a hornpipe, a glove, and some gems. Seeing the items, Chunbok praised him, saying that Kim has great eyes for details. All of the items that Kim chose are very rare items, so the bill came out very high. The total cost for all these items is 2 billion. Before Kim died from the shock, Chunbok said that that was the price for the stranger. But because Kim is the guardian angel of this marketplace, Chunbok will only charge him a reasonable price, and that is 500 million. Kim got relieved and thought that 80% discount from NPCs for having high favorability is sweet. Now, all Kim has to do is find a priest-class superhuman who can release the holy seal on the hornpipe item. And Kim has already got a clue of where to find that person by luck. Immediately after potting the items in the bag, Kim asked Chunbok if he could get the address of the Qigong therapist Chunbok mentioned earlier. After some time, Kim reached someone's room and started knocking on it. Soon a guy opened the door and asked Kim what he wanted so early in the morning. When Kim saw the guy who opened the door had white hair and pale face, he was happy because this is the same guy he was looking for. Then, Kim tells him that it's not early in the morning, but it's afternoon. The boy said that it is morning for him and asked Kim what he wanted. When Kim said to him that he was told that his treatment is excellent, the boy got really happy because he now thinks that Kim is his customer. He was careful before because he thought that Kim was some gangster. Saying that, the boy welcomed Kim in the house and said to him that he can lie down in the bed. Then, he asked him about the place where he's injured. Even after the boy asked him to lie down, Kim didn't and started looking around. When he saw the statue, he became certain of one thing. Seeing Kim not lying down, the boy asked him again to lie down on the bed. Now Kim revealed his real reason for coming here. He said that he's not here for treatment, but he's here to ask him to unseal this item. When the boy saw the item, he said that he's just a Qigong therapist and can't unseal the holy seal. He advises Kim to go to a temple to make that request. Kim refuses to go there because the temple people would demand a high price, and there's a chance his item may get taken away. Kim offers him 100 million won in return for unsealing the item. Kim calls the boy with the name Priest Kim, because of which Priest Kim got really shocked because he never told him his name. In the game, Priest Kim is the third tutorial character. He is the priest of a forgotten religion that serves a deity that died 3,000 years ago. He is one of the few innocent characters in the entire game. With so many delinquent priests in Arcane Soul, it's very difficult to find a kind-hearted religious person. In other words, Kim has many uses for this priest. Priest Kim asked him how he knew that he wasn't a Qigong therapist, but a priest. Kim decides not to answer and just asks the priest to unseal the item. Even though Priest Kim took the item, he said that it won't be an easy task. In the next moment, they both sit down with an item in the middle, and Priest Kim was about to do his thing. He uses his ability and successfully unseals the item. Now with this item, Kim can obtain a trait called Einherjar Cultivation Technique. Priest Kim can't believe that he was able to unseal the item easily. But Kim was already expecting this because he knew the Priest Kim's skill was excellent. After saying thanks to Priest Kim, Kim blows the horn, which releases a huge amount of yellow aura. With that, the waste mana in Kim's body got absorbed, and he successfully obtained the trait. To Kim, it feels like the silence of the northern European deep sea has entered his body. He thinks that in about 2 weeks, he'll be able to absorb all this mana and hit level 3 superhuman. Priest Kim is also amazed because this is his first time seeing a warrior-class superhuman using a mana cultivation technique. Seeing Kim exhausted, Priest Kim asks him that he can rest on his bed. Kim accepts the offer and lie down to sleep, thinking that Priest Kim is kind guy just like in the game. He thought that it's a good thing he found a trustworthy priest because it'll be benefit for him in the long run. After some time, Kim woke up because of some noise. What he saw shocked him. He saw that Priest Kim is pouring the petrol on the money that Kim gave him and is about to light it on fire. Priest Kim is offering all this to his god, asking him to be resurrected. When Kim saw all this, he didn't know what was going on.